All right. So today, just for the sake of the video, Paul can't join us. So we're going to, last week I said we would go through open issues, but of course, we should probably wait for Paul on that so we can push that to next week. Let's start with Luke.
The PR for the Rust nightly update has merged. Since it took a while to get it to actually work, it is now on like the version from the end of January, not the end of February, when the merge actually happened. I immediately opened a PR to do updates again after that, and the one change that seemed to happen with Rust is the formatter changed. There are new rules about how imports are merged, but that seemed to be the only change. And then on that PR, mostly I did for depths updates. The thing so far that I found out is dash map just doesn't have no standard support anymore, so we can't upgrade it. Or maybe it doesn't have Western budget. I forget which. Dash map changed, like we can't upgrade it right now for the way we're using it. And then intrusive collections, the intrusive pointer we're using, they got rid of that and made two traits so that you could customize the size of the pointer for systems where you could use a U8 and U16, which means intrusive pointer is just gone, like it's a breaking change. And so to do that upgrade, we would have to change our traits. And since that is with our memory management, I really don't want to fuck around with it. So it's just something to be aware of, that like to get the new version of intrusive collections, we have to redo the traits.
What does dash map do? That's why doesn't it have no STD anymore?
Seriously, it's like a roll up. Like the PR that's in is just a roll up. There's no explanation of why they took it out.
Because I would think like it isn't like the only thing that's. I mean, they need allocator support, and that's about like they need to be able to use the allocator. Yeah, and that's about it. I should think. The
commit is just like an explanation of it is coming out, and then the PR that GitHub associates it with is just like I think it's called maintenance release or something. Like there's no explanation of why. Maybe it's buried in some issue and they just didn't cross-link. But yeah.
Might be worth like opening an issue or asking.
Yeah. Because dash map is the hash map replacement we're using for every place where we used to have to use locks, because dash map has internal locks and it's like auto sharded for us. So it's very helpful for us.
Hans?
Not all that much to report here. Client stuff.
Okay. I'm sure you guys saw I think Paul posted it in the Lumen channel. There was Little Actor Machine, which is the actor model based VM WebAssembly, like loosely based upon Erlang's actor model. I reached out to the author of that and asked to see if we could chat, if there's opportunities to kind of collaborate on our two efforts. He's up for it. So I was thinking of maybe inviting him to, I want to get your thoughts if we should invite him to a stand-up and have that conversation be public, or if we have a private conversation with him. I'm up for either.
I think it would depend on what he's comfortable with. I don't think there's any issue with having it public, but it depends on if he would want to like join a public call. I mean, public, like to a certain degree of public. It's not like we have a massive viewership, but
we have 20 subscribers, and our is usually me watching the stream. I'm pretty sure, unless someone is watching this right now all the time.
We got anyway. Maybe there's opportunity to share resources or thoughts. Like his implementation is not as ambitious as ours, obviously, because we're doing, soup to nuts. But it seems like some of his goals are aligned with ours. So I think it just makes sense to have a conversation with him and see if there's ways for both projects to help each other out.
I mean, I would think he would probably want the stack switching thing the same way we do. We're like, I mean, obviously, if his is working with normal WASM code, he just did the way that we would have to do it, or the way that I did do it in the Rust, like the Rust only porting implementation.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, the more the VM ships, the better, the less WASM we have to ship, which is always good.
So you're referring to pushing on the spec to make changes, like as another voice?
Yeah, because right now, for us to be able to do process switching on WASM, we have to shadow stack and kind of keep the heap to the side. Like the heap isn't the heap obviously isn't linear memory because that's where we allocate it, but it's not literally the linear memory. Like it's not the WASM stack.
Right.
It looks like LAM it's a bytecode virtual machine, so it shouldn't have to deal with stack switching at all.
Yeah, but it's bytecode. Well,
I guess it depends on how they're implementing like the bytecode virtual machine, but I would think they're doing like a more like data-driven approach. Probably have the stacks on the heap.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing in the Rust implementation too.
Okay. I'll reach out to him, see what his appetite is for doing public. If not, then we can just schedule, a private call and see what comes of it. All right. I think that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.